Welcome back, everyone. This is Key,
And Chevy.
and today we're talking about what are the needs of the man in the marriage. What are the top five needs that a man has in just, I guess, if you look at it in the perspective of life, but more specifically in a marriage that he's in. So Chevy's gonna take the wheel with this one and talk about what those needs are.
Hello, everyone. Um, well, marriage. I think let's first off start with a major issue for most men: honesty. Um, Requirement to be truly involved with the person that you're married to. Um, Trustworthiness. I guess that even comes on to honesty. I think.
I see that's something real important to you.
Yes. Um, let's face it, you got to be true to the other person, committed to the other person, and well, there's this thing called love. That's something that you definitely have to make a commitment to the other person. Um, I feel that is all necessary. Uh, there's just all manner of emotions that you have to deal with when dealing with the other person. You have to have acceptance. You gotta accept who they are and how they are. The behavior of the other person and your behavior, they have to come together. There has to be an understanding between both of you. What do you say to that?
Well, all of what you've said is, I would say, really important and required if you want a functional and healthy marriage. What I would like for you is to break down more so what men need, some of what you would say you need from the other person, unless you're saying all of what you just listed is what, as a man, those are the top five things that y'all need: the
Yeah, I
trustworthy,
think that's what I
honesty.
require of you.
Okay, okay, okay. So the trustworthy,
Yes,
honesty
absolutely.
aspect. You want me to be trustworthy,
Yes, absolutely.
committed,
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 loving,
loving.
uh,
Don't put the emphasis on that. I love you now.
yeah,
And then,
understanding.
okay, understanding.
Yeah, all these adjectives
So funny.
are very, very important
And
to a good standing.
also acceptance. The
Mm-hmm.
acceptance. Now, let me just take it to this in this direction, shall I say? Say, for instance, with the honesty part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty, in my opinion, starts with self. Right? You cannot be honest to others if you're not honest with yourself. if you're
Mm-hmm.
not telling yourself what you are actually
About.
experiencing, I guess is a good word to use, and realizing, because sometimes we do not have a realization of things until we just we just do, I guess, at some point. And so we are having experiences on a regular basis throughout the day. We have a lot of different experiences each and every moment. We need to be aware sometimes. I would say for women, I could just speak for the women because I'm only able to do that. That for men to be more receptive to when we just talk to them, when we are asking something,
Listeners.
yeah, we need to be mindful of the tone and the voice in which we are bringing our request or concern or whatever it is to that man. I know that with Chevy, the first, I don't know how many years, I would say at least a good 5 or 6 years, the first years of our marriage, I did not understand that the energy that I was bringing forth and the tone and how I was saying things was actually turning his hearing of what I'm asking, not necessarily everyone around him, but just what I was asking. It was turning it off. It was just turning it off. I could be asking him something as simple as, can you bring home some, I don't know, juice and bread? I don't know. And if I brought a very demanding, very harsh tone and just energy in my request, he wouldn't hear it in that way. I mean, let's just be honest. Men are not that complicated. They're rather simple in how you can ask something of them. However, you have to come to them in a loving and gentle, and I would say kind way, so that they will be receptive, that they will even hear you. Because I don't know how many women out there can relate, but a lot of times, not about if you're speaking clearly, if you're speaking directly, it's about the energy, it's about the tone that you're using. And so, a lot of times when we want men to receive, okay, and that's just not men, but right now because we're talking about men, but that's just anyone. We want people to receive, but especially our husbands, the ones that we love, the ones that we say that I'm committed and I love this man. We need to be mindful that every time we're coming to him, we're bringing forth that we exude that level of love, and you know, I, I'm with him till the wheels fall off. Well, it needs to come across that way. And if you're really possessing those feminine and more loving vibrations, then he'll receive that
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be more receptive. He will actually start to do it where it's not even something that you're really asking anymore, because we get into a habit as people, but especially women, I think, of telling our children, okay, you need to do this, you need to do your homework, you need to clean up. And we do not switch that off when we're talking to our husbands. And I don't think a lot of times it's deliberate.
Nah. And it's also the deal that love grows with time. So, and understanding, and more understanding comes as time goes by because the love builds and the understanding builds. It doesn't go any other way. It will work and does work that way.
Hmm.
So if you don't, if you're not loving and understanding, you're losing because that is definitely going to lead to a loss if there is not love and understanding in the communication.
And so, as a man, Chef, would you say if a woman is wanting her husband to just initiate more date time and do more planning of different things outside the home and just create that romantic getaway or whatever, what is it that men really respond to when you talk about the communication? I just talked about tone and
That's
everything.
exactly what I was about to say. It's the communication of these things that also brings about the, how should I put it, the loving and caring responses. It's the communication.
Right.
You don't let them know. You just keep on going. You don't take care of yourself because that is a very important part of it. Taking care of yourself, taking care of how you look, how you carry yourself.
And the investment in your
Make an
personal, yeah.
investment in yourself because you have to you have to approve of yourself before anybody else.
Exactly.
So that is an important part of the building the loving relationship. If you don't do that, there's not much hope for it.
And I know that a lot of times as women we expect men to read our minds, to know what we want,
Big no no.
and to also respond to our silence.
Yeah,
um,
doesn't work.
as a man, I made up a word, babe. As a man, and excuse me, y'all, I have a cold that I'm getting over. As a man, in all of your simplicity, would you say that something as simple as leaving a note on a post it to say, babe, I sure would love to spend some time with you this weekend just to get away for maybe a few days would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like, because I, and I'm guilty of this, that's why I'm able to come forth and talk to you all about it. Chevy and I have grown. I always will put that at the top of when I speak of what we've accomplished, where we have taken our relationship from being very dysfunctional, I could be honest and say very dysfunctional, to a place of more peace. Our
Understanding.
synergy, oh my gosh, yes, understanding is definitely the top five, but our synergy, we are so in sync. It is mainly because of the years we've been together, but it's also because of the work we put forth into self growth and development, and also as a couple working together. But what I really wanted to get on is the whole concept of, if right now I were to want Chevy to do anything, I don't care what it is, you know, I understand that my tone, like I said previously, my tone, I always check my tone. I used to check my tone. You give me the side eye. I don't check my tone every time. What will you say? I still
You're
don't check my
working on it.
tone.
You're working
I
on
mean, I check it every time. But guess what? Sometimes you still will use a certain tone to make sure you put the emphasis on your your position. I'll put it that way. But Chevy knows I came a long way. I've come a long way. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Tone, but also being very direct with a loving delivery. You know, my expectations of Chevy are realistic. I can't talk tonight. Are realistic based on being with him for this amount of years and understanding who he is as a person, not based on a cookie cutter model of what a man should be, but who he is. That's another thing, ladies. Make sure you identify that, okay, I'm dealing with an individual, not just the whole concept of men.
it. And you have to take into account the man's whole physical being, because right now I'm not 100%. I'm maybe 75%,
Uh-huh.
and I can't accomplish many of the things that I used to be able to accomplish.
Right.
Um, I think I've already told y'all that I've been through a lot of medical issues and stuff like that, so I can't perform like I used to. But yeah, take into account what the man can accomplish.
Right. Be
Uh,
realistic. Be realistic. Be honest. Going back, tying that in what we said earlier. Being honest, that goes so far, because being honest with yourself, it allows you to be honest with others and keep yourself grounded in what you're experiencing, realizing your current situation, not what you used to have, not what you would want it to be. I did that a lot. I did that a lot with Chevy, you know, and it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy for myself because I set myself up every time for sheer disappointment. I set myself up. As a man, would you say a lot of times women, we just set ourselves up for the disappointment? It's not even that y'all are setting out to disappoint us, that you didn't understand what was the expectation, it wasn't clearly defined and communicated.
yeah, I would say so. The understanding of my physical condition is very important in our relationship.
Right now, yeah.
Yes. So that is a key to the give and take to make it work.
Well, I just want to say and wrap it up that, like Chevy emphasized, the honesty and trustworthiness. For men, that's huge on their list of needs from their wife, from
Hmm.
their spouse.
Very much so.
The fact that you have to be understanding, that's huge. And I'll let him.
It's just about recognizing the issues that we as men endure. Um, some of us are 100%. Some of us, like me, I'm about 75%.
And it's not just always
That's
physical, too, baby. We also have to take consideration
mental.
mentally.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
mental and the emotional.
Hmm.
The other
It's all,
areas you were saying that the acceptance is huge
yes,
for y'all. And what
acceptance
else?
of the abilities of where we're at.
And what's the other two? You had two more.
Honesty and love.
Love, commitment. You said
Yeah.
commitment too. Yeah, so keep those at the forefront of your mind, ladies, and just interacting and dealing with your husbands if you're at a point in your marriage that it might be where you are faced with difficulty and you've hit a roadblock, and you might even be seeking counseling or considering it. Don't give up. Remember that this is a continuous, and I mean continuous, work for both parties involved. It's not something that you start out, you put 5 to 10 years in, and then everything is smooth sailing. Every day, every year, you're building, you're growing. Keep that in perspective, and you should thrive. All right. Until next time,
God bless. Peace out.
talk to y'all. Bye.